Hello, welcome to the Dallas Weekly. This DW business profile is brought to you by Mark Cuban Companies. Joining me today for our business profile, I'm pretty excited, is Wallon Walusayi, who's the CEO and co-founder of 3Data. How's it going?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Jeremiah.
Oh, appreciate it, Wallon. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. I just want to know, what is 3Data? We got to explain it to these people.
So 3Data is a big data platform that fuses together all of your real-time data in one 3D space. So imagine that you are running a global business and you receive a message that your operations have been compromised or your business has been hacked. Typically we're looking at a lot of phone calls and plane rides to try to figure out what's going on. What 3Data does is we use artificial intelligence in 3D to give you a real-time virtual war room. So kind of think Iron Man with 3D buildings and floor maps so that you can really understand what's going on during an incident and then invite people to be able to collaborate and communicate to make decisions faster.
Wow, that is impressive. So tell me a little more about what we're seeing here. I see a man off to the right side and he's manipulating data. Walk me through exactly what it is that we're seeing here.
So what we were seeing in the video was, being able to completely command and control your information from one kind of single 3D environment. What you're seeing is kind of the logistics and supply chain behind operations, as well as critical business information and graphs, so that you can optimize efficiency, as well as kind of resolve any sort of incidents going on the IT and the operations side.
That's great. So I see that the operator is using, is that an Oculus or a compatible VR system?
That is, yep, that's the Oculus Quest. It's a standalone headset, so you don't need any complicated cables or a powerful PC. You can kind of just put it on and it works right there.
That's excellent. So when the person is operating it, so they'll operate it from inside of their 3D environment where they'll see the different screens appear floating in space, right?
That's correct. Yep. You see everything as if it was floating there as a hologram or in a virtual space.
Nice. And can you also make it so instead of being in an enclosed world, can it be a augmented reality?
That's a great question. Yes. What you're able to do, because we are a web-based solution, so we do use the cloud to compute a lot of this. You can join from pretty much any device. So you can have an augmented reality user collaborating with somebody in virtual reality, and then have people from two-dimensional devices like a laptop or a mobile device join in real time as video screens. So it's really a 3D collaboration tool for businesses to make critical decisions together. Wow,
it's incredible. Okay, so I think that I understand the concept behind it, and so let me see if I unpack this. Let's say that in the example that I saw in one of your other videos, that I had a hotel. And in that example, they show that there's a problem with, say, a camera or some, one of their security cameras.
Yeah.
And if I put on my Oculus headset, and then I would be able to see all of my data center displayed in front of me in real time, all in floating screens, as if I was in a 3D environment. And then I could take and physically manipulate one of those screens, a la, I'm going to bring it up, a la Minority Report style, where I bring that data in front of me and pull it down and put it where I need it. And then I could zoom in to where the data center is telling me that there is the error. And then I'd zoom in and literally could see that camera, and I could, and tell me for a second, what could I literally do? I could go into the actual camera's feed with my headset.
That's correct. Yeah, and that's really kind of what we had to explore as far as the not only the boundaries of this technology, but trying to innovate in the way that businesses can use this technology. I think first and foremost, addressing the kind of elephant with VR and AR, thinking that this is kind of an entertainment and gimmick tool. This is a real business application. So from that interface, you can not only see all of your information, but get a first-person view as if you were standing there from a 360 camera. So to really gain full situational awareness, we can tie the digital world with the physical world so that you can get a live look into really what's going on.
So here's something that I think is the most important point of that. I can see that there's a problem, and I'm in a completely different place. Let's say that I'm in Houston and the problem is in Anchorage, Alaska. And I could go in and I could see that the problem's there. I could physically on the back end in my computer system see that it's telling me I need to do like a server reset or a reset on that camera. I could physically from my Houston location press set off that sequence and have that camera reset, and then see the result that it's back online, all from the single data center in Houston.
Exactly, and ideally being able to do that from in a virtual environment. And that's really where we're focused, is being able to take action within the virtual construct to remediate any of those issues, like resetting a wireless router or updating the firmware from a remote location with real-time information as if you were there. And that's really the power of the technology, is not only being able to see everything that's going on, but to do it collaboratively and take action from it.
Wow. Well, 3Data is a very interesting company, and a company that these are technologies that, I feel like I'm an early adopter and someone who follows a lot of the tech space. And you guys have already turned a corner in my mind on some application ideas and stuff. So tell me more about 3Data, and when did you guys start working on this project? What is the iteration of this? How did this all come together?
That's a great question. So my background was in data analytics. This is actually something that I've been very passionate about, and creating interesting ways to visualize data for quite some time. So we started about 4.5 years ago now. We've been developing the product for about 2 years, raised some venture capital to be able to do so. And now we're finally at the point of it's enterprise ready, and we're going to market.
Wow, that's great. And has the company grown a lot, or do you guys have kind of a staple set of people that you're working on this with, or how does that work with your company?
Yeah, it's my co-founder, Tyler Cummings, and myself, originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Started this in my grandmother's garage 4.5 years ago, so we've come quite some way. But we're now working with data scientists, artists, graphic designers, cybersecurity influencers, as well as a lot of experts in the industry, to really try to push the boundaries of how can we make a tool that's easy to use and easy to understand, but has all the complexities of data science and cybersecurity network analysis behind the scenes. So it's a really exciting place to be involved. And right now we are about 13 people. We're growing very quickly, and really excited to continue to kind of push the limits of not only collaboration, but 3D visualization.
Well, yeah, that brings me straight to my next question. What are some of the common uses of your product?
A lot of the use cases center around security and operations. So if you think about supply chain, if you think about telco, and being able to understand any of the information that your end user is looking at, along with energy, and really being able to look at the real-time information and draw insights from it. Those have been kind of the main use cases. We do also work on a couple DoD contracts that we're able to empower the warfighter to be able to understand the battlefield better. And it's an exciting opportunity to, again, kind of support the initiatives that we've been able to generate early on.
Wow, that's great. And so what are, for people who are still kind of unfamiliar with this type of technology, where would you be deploying this at? Like a hotel, I saw this in a great example, right? For looking at their security cameras and such like that. What are some other translations like hotels and stuff that you would be using? Like train stations, would you be doing stations like public security? What kind of spaces?
Exactly. So imagine a school for another kind of building and facility that you're looking to monitor. With any of the active shooter kind of alerts that go on, being able to quickly kind of get full situational awareness, during a crisis, that's been a major use case in kind of public utility. But as far as the facilities management and command and control aspect, you can really apply this to a lot of different interesting use cases. So we've been able to have success in that data center management, the network management, and facilities management. But this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So you're deploying it in a lot of different places. And when I say platform agnostic, I know that's another thing that make people kind of glaze over. But can you talk about how being platform agnostic, how that would relate to deploying your technology and the ease of use, for example?
Yeah, that's a great question. So being platform agnostic has really been something that we've strived to lower the barrier to entry for a lot of people into 3D visualization, 3D collaboration. So we work on all VR headsets, AR headsets, mobile devices, as well as WebEx boards like I have behind me here. You're able to tap in with any touchscreen device and still collaborate with somebody from 2D to 3D. And that's really the key for us, is how do we create that two-dimensional collaboration opportunity with the people who are using virtual and augmented reality.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm actually going to pull this back up and show you another example we can show here. So this is what you would see from inside of the AR headset, right?
Yep. So this is actually the virtual environment that we were monitoring with live video feeds and pushing alerts in real time. So this is exactly what you see as if you were standing there looking around the operations center here.
Wow. This is an actual case. So you would look, I see they're talking about Apollo Insights here now.
Yeah.
So this is something that I was going to ask you about too. So you have your own AI assistant built into your software.
That's correct.
Okay, can you please tell me about Apollo AI?
Yeah, it came very naturally. So one thing that we've really been studying in the immersive visualization and kind of the VR AR industry is interface, and how can we make this easy for everyone to use. So after drawing the comparison to Iron Man and the 3D visualization and the holograms that we've been creating, it made a lot more sense to just make this a voice activated interface. That we could start to control the environment, control the visualizations from. And that's really where Apollo was born. And being able to correlate all the information that we're starting to bring into one environment, it really lent itself to a tool, an AI kind of assistant that could expedite decision making and really kind of be that companion for people who are trying to understand complex scenarios.
Wow, that's great. So I've seen a lot of security related uses for this, or tracking related. Could it be used for visualizing stuff like social media data or social justice data and data that is used to track, trends, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the best example is with the current protests that are going on. We're getting information in kind of bite-sized parts from people who are tweeting out photos, tweeting out videos, kind of tagging their location and sharing it. But using our platform, what we could do is fuse together the videos and the pictures and geolocation and overlay it onto a map so that you have a real-time view and a synchronized view of everything going on and not just kind of a sliver of the picture. It's very similar with people's business. If you're looking at just a sliver of your business, you're not really able to look at the relationship between all the other information that's also being displayed. So that's really where we're excited about a lot of the opportunities, not only with the protests, but with the voting and being able to really pinpoint any sort of discrepancy in what's going on.
That's great. That gives me so many more ideas all across the board. And I've explored some incredible different ideas and different iterations of this up through the way. So that does take me to this year. It is a voting year. It's an incredible year for data because so many things are anomalous this particular year. How has 2020 changed your business model or mission?
It's really kind of made our mission more important than ever, of connecting people with information in a way that everyone can understand. With COVID-19 and forcing people to work from home, our platform has been a necessary tool for a lot of these companies to continue to have business continuity. And really understanding how we can leverage, the collaboration element of what we built has expedited people with their appetite for remote working. So we're now trying to scale the business and meet the needs of businesses all over the world who are being impacted by the pandemic, so that we can really start to help people with their remote home, kind of remote work situation, and empower them to make better decisions. Yeah,
that makes sense. And so have you had to adjust your business workflow at all to the pandemic? Like, is everybody remote that wasn't previously? Was everybody already working remotely? How has that affected it?
Yeah, naturally with our platform, we do use our platform to remotely collaborate. So it was a transition that was pretty easy for us as a business because it was, kind of the essence in what we're building. But it's been an interesting opportunity to now educate, companies on how we've been doing business for, the past 2.5, 3 years, working remotely and collaborating as if we were there in person. So for us, it was an awesome opportunity to kind of prove out the technology and use it internally to gain an advantage versus people who weren't ready for the remote work opportunity.
So please tell me that that translates into a roundtable in a virtual world with 3 or 4 of your dudes all on green screens with Oculus on, virtually in the same room inside of your technology.
100%.
Thank you, guys. Because I'm thinking in so many movies that I've seen that, you know, the Jedi Council, for example, they would, everybody dials in, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure that they're like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to dial. I'm sure it's not practical for everything, but I'm sure you had to try that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the sci-fi movies kind of painted a tangible picture for us. So now we can kind of innovate off of, you know, what people are used to seeing and try to turn it into business use cases and quantify the value.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't wait to be able to personally go. This is my dream in AR, is to go to see a first run movie and be able to sit in the theater in the middle, in the middle seat, in the top, and everyone could technically sit in that seat if they wanted to, but be in AR. And then in my AR environment, we all would be in the theater together, even though we're not currently, and just watch a first run movie together and be able to, you know, to be in an audience in a virtual world like that. So I can't wait to see a case like that with you guys.
Oh yeah, we're closer than you might think, Jeremiah.
I'm pretty excited at that. So taking that to the future, you know, what are your plans for 2021? And then after that, please tell me, what are your distant future plans, like 2050?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 2021 is really an exciting year for us to scale the business, keep on kind of proving out the model across multiple industries and evangelizing the technology. So we're really excited to kind of keep building the future of operations and security. I think in 2050, you'll probably be able to catch me somewhere working on quantum computing. That's really a major passion of mine, where I think the future is, or maybe on a commercial shuttle to Mars. So one way or the other, you'll find me working on next generation technology.
Well, I don't want to drop it on you, brother, but you work on next generation technology. So I'm going to show our viewers just one more time, just this great interface. This is something that really blew my mind. 3Data has taken everything that we always thought about in our sci-fi world. You put on your Oculus headset, you grab your handles. Now you are inside a virtual world visualizing your data. This to me is the type of thing that in the Hollywood world we used to have to come up with and try to make up, you know, in post and create it. But you're making this work in real time in a real world, and I feel like this is a technology that probably was a long time coming. And you know, thank you for being the one to actually, you know, be a pioneer like you're being.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's exciting, you know, and I can't take, you know, much of the credit. I have a phenomenal team that I get to work with every day of their geniuses in their own right. So. It's a really exciting space to be in. We're really excited to keep on winning new customers and rolling this out, and then providing just a new technology to keep pushing the elements of what's possible when it comes to collaboration and visualization.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Well, for all of our viewers, you have been watching our Dallas Weekly business profile of 3Data with the CEO and co-founder, Wallon Walusayi. And this DW profile is brought to you by Mark Cuban Companies. And I'm Jeremiah Long. I'm your digital producer here. Thank you so much for joining me, Wallon.
Thanks so much for having me.